Chrissy here from PopCultureMadness.com and ConcertBlogger.com. Can you introduce yourself to our site visitors, please?
I am Liam from the Dillinger Escape Plan.
Thank you so much for joining me. So I know we were...
you're amazing abode here.
You like my little tent setup?
Yeah. This is yours, right? You won't...
Oh, yeah, I did. I stuck it all up. I'm good like that. So, here we are at Orion Festival. Is there anybody you guys are excited to see?
Yesterday I saw Tomahawk and Infectious Grooves and the D-Han set, all of which were pretty rad. And I think right now I'm missing Dirt Bombs, which I'd kind of be curious to see. I saw Flag yesterday. That was kind of cool. The Bronx I missed, but love those guys. Deftones, Metallica. The Dillinger Escape Plan.
Of course. How could we forget them?
Yeah. I'm going to have an out-of-body experience during that set.
Seriously, you're going to watch it from our perspective.
I'm going to be a witness to the whole thing.
Nice. So, what can we be expecting? Are you guys putting any new material into your set?
Some new material. There's some old material. We're going back and we're even still debating exactly what the set will be as we speak. Not as we speak, because I can't, I'm only going to be in two places at one time during the day. So yeah, there's going to be, something old, something new, maybe something borrowed.
Something blue, no?
Maybe something blue. We'll see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not something blue yet. So,
with so many albums under your belt, I've got to know how challenging it is to put together a set list, honestly.
It's not as challenging when you don't remember. You're like, oh wait, how does that one go? Oh yeah, it's kind of like this one. No, I don't. And you kind of just learn. It's a very selfish thing, Not to say that we aren't performing for fans, but at the end of the day, we're gonna play what we feel like playing, and it's the same with writing. It's like we're always gonna write what we feel like writing, and it's hard. There's inner, back and forth about what to play, what new members remember what new members don't know what. What song, if we're kind of trying to balance out a set in terms of, a fast song, a more melodic song, this kind of song. It's like, well, we already have this song that we never play, plus we have this new song that we never play. Should we bring back an old one that potentially people don't know, or should we play something new and, kind of advertise the new stuff? It's always a toss-up, so...
It sounds like it's kind of calculated, though.
God, it's so first world problems, Came out May 15th, 14th, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's out. It's doing well. New material off that. It's easy to play.
So how's the feedback been? Positive?
It's good, yeah. Good numbers, good response.
That's good. Are you ever surprised what songs maybe fans gravitate towards?
Yes and no. When you look on iTunes plays or something like that, yeah, sometimes you're surprised at, or maybe not surprised. It's kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand why that song is the most played. It's not necessarily my favorite song or our favorite song, but yeah, it's never totally, I want all of them to be their favorites, so I understand.
I'm sure it fluctuates between what they happen to be going through during a time, and you can relate to different things.
So yeah, when they got into the band, what they were going through at the time, sure.
So you guys have formed, back in, was it 97? That's my fact. I got it. So how do you feel about the evolution of the band to this point? We've obviously seen changes within the industry, the way fans are learning, this uprise of social media.
This is a rabbit hole, but yeah, the social media thing's definitely a big thing. You're kind of trying to balance out what's too far and what's, and I think we're all kind of learning to say no. I think we've, I'm not going to get into our ages, but I think we've been around long enough to feel comfortable saying no, which I think a lot of younger bands aren't comfortable doing. I think that a lot of people just think anything that'll get you to where you're trying to go, and we've kind of learned a lot of the time that saying no, or just kind of politely declining certain things. I'm not, I'm sorry I don't write back to all my Facebook messages. Sometimes they're not relevant, and I have other things to be worrying about, and you should have other things you're worrying about too, other than asking me dumb questions, you know.
I mean, do you guys get that? Usually most bands are like, when are you coming to this city? And it's just a constant, like, and that's
We get tons of unsolicited recommendations, whether it's like, hey, you guys should play with this band, or like, hey, check out my band, or why don't you guys do this with this band, or why don't you cover this, or why don't you play this, or, you know, hey, check out. It's just, it never ends. And I don't have enough time for the people I actually, you know, I can't have everybody have that kind of access, you know. And I think everybody should respect that, and probably does when they sit back and objectively think about it, you know.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a fine line, because certain people are like, you're a dick if you don't respond. It's like, you don't get it then, you know.
No, it's too hard when they actually are in the position of getting this, and you dig it with the same thing.
When I was a kid, I didn't have any access to James Hetfield. You know what I mean? I didn't get his Instagram when I was 15. You know what I mean? It's like, so that kind of stuff.
You didn't? I thought that was public.
No. I mean, yeah, I was part of the, you know, So What Club and all that, you know, but, yeah. So it's, lots of things have changed. No more big box stores. No more, you know, no more Tower Records. No more, you know, vinyl's back. It's a good thing, I guess.
That's good. The lack of record stores makes me sad, though.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So how did the deal come about with you guys and Sumerian Records?
We've had a kind of, I don't know how to say it. We've had a relationship with Ash, who runs Sumerian, for a couple of years. You know, we met him first as a promoter, and when he was singing for Reflux, or I don't know. He was, he was in Reflux, and yeah, just, I mean, we've watched some other bands that we consider peers, you know, go to his label with success. So, and we figured that he's got a finger on a pulse that we don't. And it was also different to go to a label where these guys are younger than us, or more or less our age, and kind of get us in a way. They kind of grew up with us, so they get it in a way that a lot of labels who kind of see us as as inventory or something like that, you know, like they sort of get it. They think they know how to market it, but they're just, you know, Relapse, you know, did a great job, but they're limited in what they see us as and what they can do with what the rest of their roster does. And I think, you know, same can be said about Season of Mist. They were great. They did what they could do, but at the end of the day, I don't really think they knew how to, like, really sell it, you know. And if you're going to be on a label, that's kind of the point. So when we met the Sumerian guys and discussed what the potentials could be and what their goals were, we were like, okay, cool. Yeah, we want the same things. Let's do it.
That's great. It's always important to be on the same page there, I think.
Sort of. I think it's also important to not be on the same page, too. I think that,
that could make
most bands and management and bands and labels should have a certain degree of healthy disagreement.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it spices it up a little bit and challenges each side.
I mean, I think a lot of labels, you know, a lot of bands know how to do the music side, and a lot of labels know how to sell it. But when labels think that they know the creative side and bands think that they know the marketing side, there can sometimes be a few missed connections.
So, can you take us in the recording process? I mean, the album came out in May, and can you pick maybe one particular track and tell me what the mindset was like in the studio?
It's hard to do that. I mean, nothing, we don't track live. You know, it's not like we're all in the same room at the same time. Actually, some of us aren't even in the studio at the same day. So, and even writing the record, none of us were in a room writing it. I don't think we haven't played these songs as a band until we started touring them. So, and that's just kind of just, our MO is a little different than most other bands. None of us live in the same state. All of us kind of like respect our space when we're not on tour, and kind of trust each other enough to know that, like, when it's your turn, I know that you're going to lay down something awesome, and when it's your turn, I know you're going to lay down something awesome, and I trust you to do the same with me.
And that's a lot of trust between members.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of you know, oversight, but that's why we have a producer that we trust, who can kind of be that sixth member at all times, and, you know, be objective about what we need to get done. So, yeah.
So after Orion, what is on the agenda?
After Orion, we just, when's this going to get printed? When will this go out?
Probably.
Okay. After Orion Fest, we had some European dates that we had to cancel. And then we should be back in shape for Summer Slaughter. So July 19th or somewhere around there, we start Summer Slaughter on the West Coast. And then the rest of the year takes off from there again.
So you gotta come visit us in Philly on the East Coast.
What's that?
Philadelphia on the East Coast. You guys go
From Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I live in Fishtown.
Really? No shit. That's pretty cool.
19125.
Represent. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes out to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.